Welcome back to Reliable Sources. I'm sure you remember these shocking images of Ray Rice and his wife Janae. Showing the punch would be gratuitous at this point, but this is the aftermath footage after the former Ravens running back knocked out his wife. He dragged her out of his Atlantic City casino elevator. Those images were published by TMZ in September, leading the NFL to suspend him indefinitely. But on Friday, his suspension was overturned, and now Janae Rice is telling her side of the story for the very first time. She talked with ESPN and NBC. Here she is with Matt Lauer in an excerpt released recently describing the ride home from the casino.
I was furious. We came home and we didn't talk the entire ride. Well, I didn't speak to him the entire ride home. He tried to talk to me. I didn't want to hear anything. I just knew he hit me and I was completely over it. I was done, didn't want to hear anything. I just didn't even want to entertain him, anything that he had to say, any explanation. Of course, in the back of my mind and in my heart, I knew that our relationship wouldn't be over because I know that this isn't us and it's not him.
The rest of that interview will air tomorrow on the Today Show, but it was ESPN's Jemele Hill who had the first exclusive interview, which was the basis of a first-person essay by Janae that ESPN published on Friday. Jemele, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
You told me during the commercial break this was the first time in your career you've ever had to interview for an interview. Tell me what that was like.
Well, it was a little bit different process. I mean, obviously, with this kind of interview, Janae and her family, they wanted to basically have an array of choices. They wanted to figure out who they probably felt the most comfortable with. And so when I met her and her mom for the first time, I just wanted them to understand my commitment and passion for journalism. And the whole reason that I got into this business was to tell stories. I mean, they were already fully aware of what my opinions on the Ray Rice issue had been. And I think they felt as if I were fair. That doesn't mean favorable, but they felt as if I were fair. And I think that was a big reason why they decided to trust me with their story.
And that meeting happened several weeks before the November 5th interview?
Yes, it did. It happened in New York. And it was an opportunity, maybe like a orientation, if you will, a meet and greet, an opportunity for her to know a little bit about me to know a little bit about her, obviously beyond the headlines that she had been involved with for months at that point.
Right.
I just wanted to get a better feel for who she was, and it was mutual, it was vice versa.
So when her first-person essay was published on Friday, it included this note. It said, "No questions were off limits. Janae Rice was given approval over its content and release date." And of course, that raises lots of eyebrows. So tell me why you thought it was appropriate in this case to have her have approval over the content.
Well, as you've seen, there have been other As Told To stories, and a lot of them take this format. And I know the way it sounds, and I know the way it sounds for me. Again, by trade, I'm a journalist. And so I know people see that language of final approval, and they envision this process of her shooting down things not to be in there. But it was in no way was this ever a dictatorship. It was fully a collaboration. She came into it with the mindset that she wanted to be as transparent as possible. And as for the release date, the interview took place during the appeals process, and it just made more sense to not publish the story until after that process had been completed. I mean, I spoke to her moments after the NFL or the arbitrator decided to reinstate Ray Rice, because that was something, a reaction we wanted included in the piece, or something,
right.
And it was stuff that I wanted to have. So when I did speak about her in the piece, I can say, oh, I spoke to her, and this was her reaction to the appeals process.
It's so interesting to see her talking to the media, because let me put up what she wrote on Instagram over the summer. She was attacking the media, talking about the pain that the media had caused. She wrote, "No one knows the pain that the media and unwanted options from the public has caused to my family." I think she meant opinions from the public, not options. But did she say anything to you in this 3-hour-long interview about the media and about how she's now utilizing the media?
Well, I think that was part of the reason why she was motivated to speak, is that she had gone months without saying anything, and putting myself in her shoes, I imagine it's extremely frustrating to see people like me and you and people in social media, other media pundits were opining about her mindset, about her relationship, about the type of woman she is. And this was her opportunity to set the record straight and to present to people who she really is. And, while on some end I know there's a certain irony in railing against the media and collaborating with them at the same time,
Right.
but I think that's why she went through the process so carefully to choose somebody who she felt like was going to be fair.
Oh, no doubt, sources have more power than ever to choose who to talk to. Let me show you one line that really stood out to me in this essay. Here's what she wrote toward the end. She said, "If it took our situation becoming headline news to show domestic violence is happening in this country, that's a positive." Did you get a sense from her that she really feels that this has had a positive outcome in that way?
Well, I think obviously she would not like to relive this situation. I think that, that's pretty obvious. However, as she told me, there were certain positives or silver linings, if you will, that came out of this. Among the many was the fact that the level and awareness of domestic violence is now, maybe more than we've seen in this country in quite some time. And the other side of her, from a personal level too, is that she felt like she learned a lot about herself, about her own strength, the strength of her family, the strength of her relationship with her husband. So even though it was horrible and traumatic, and there's going to be some probably long-term emotional damage from this entire episode, I think that she has enough perspective to understand that there was something larger and bigger at play than just the microcosm of her situation.
Very self-aware. Jemele Hill, thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you.